哦，
这个 Yamaha School
哦，以前啊，对了，
那个是你啊，
这个这样久了，这个几年，2000年的时候，
对，
2000年，24年前了。
你小学的。
So growing up, for me, my childhood is kind of normal until the age of around 10 years old, where I found out that I was adopted. I noticed, or I rather feel that they care for my younger brother more than they care for me. That is where things start to change a little. I start to become a little bit distance away from my family and start to be a bit defiant. One thing lead to another, we keep on having fights over small things, okay, and one day I just decided that it's because the fights were getting bigger and bigger, and and one day I decided to leave home. I actually wanted to be a police when I was younger. When you are younger, we always watch TV. When we go home, the only TV show we can watch is Channel 8 because at home my dad, my mom all watch Channel 8. The dramas are all about police catching this and that. But as I grow older, it turns out to be the opposite. I got caught by police instead. 这个是我们几年的时候去的。
这个你们2008年
，2008年哦。
你们大概11岁的时候你们去的。
我们去哪里啊？
我们去Genting。
How I started drug was when I mixed up with my friends. They were taking the drug, so I was kind of interested and I was like I wanted to try, but my friend was like, hey, don't try this, don't try this. You will get hooked. But to me, I told them that it's just one path. How can I get hooked, right? I only know when I was hooked when I'm not taking it, I'm craving for it. I want it. When I am taking the drug, I have no more money, so I have to find for some ways. So that is where I get to know more people to get the drugs at a cheaper price, okay, and I distribute it to people which I can earn it at a higher price. Yeah, and I use the money to roll, okay, and also to feed myself with the drug. It's like a small business.
要打杯咖啡给我文祥。
So my relationship with my family was actually quite bad already before I take drugs. After I take drugs, how is the impact? I would say not much difference because I wasn't staying at home at that point of time. I only moved back home when I was close to my sentence date, and of course I moved everything home. I moved my drugs home as well. So because my mom ran my room out, so I was sharing with some other people. The person who shared the same room as me was once a drug abuser as well. So end up we had fun. We both of us took drugs together in the room. His younger brother was staying in the same house as well, and their relationship actually is quite close. And I think they saw his behavior, okay, and maybe from there my parents get to know that I was abusing drug at that point of time. So when I was in prison, there's nothing much to do. So I started to reflect on why is the police coming to my house and knock on my room door but not the main gate. And when the police arrested me, when I leave the house, the door is right open. It's not locked, and normally it was locked. So when my parents come and visit me, the first question I ask is, how did the police actually come into the house? Do we not lock the door? And that is where my parents start to tell me that they are the one who reported to the police.
那是决定举报自己的孩子，一定是一个很艰难的决定。就你能告诉我，就是什么最终让你做出这个决定？
我在本多的车转了3圈，我最后的决定，我把我的车park在本多的 HDB 楼下，我走到警察局去，警察局问我你要做什么，我讲我要报我的儿子吸毒。那么我进到警察局，不是第一个门，你要走到里面，很多个部门弯弯曲曲进到里面。那个警察问我你的决定是真诚，我讲是，因为我教不好他。
你有没有承认愧疚什么？刚才我问你的就是
没有。
为什么？
因为他吸毒就是不对的嘛，所以一定要报警的，因为我教不了啊，所以就由警察来教了。
So how do you feel when you learn that your mother called the police on you?
Honestly, I feel very angry. Feel very disappointed, very upset. Because I would never thought that parents or their mom, their dad will actually call the police to catch their own son or something like that. So I feel really, really very angry, and at the same time very, very disappointed as well. So life behind bars is, to be honest, is super, super boring. 23 hours you're inside the cell, 1 hour you're out for your yard time. So you basically got nothing to do. Time after time, I do receive some letters, some hard copies, greeting cards, all this from my family. Some of the greeting cards have tear stains. Okay, some of the handwritings, we can see that it's not the original handwriting. It kind of breaks my heart. This one over here is actually when I was studying outside of prison. I got all A's for absent. And when I was in prison school, nothing better to do, so nothing much to do, so I actually joined in the prison school for my N-levels again. And this time around I got 3 A's and 1 C. During one of the visit, my mom came and she shared with me about my grandmother being diagnosed with dementia. That one totally broke me. The grandchildren she dote on the most is actually me. Yeah. But then in her mind, she always remember that I'm the most naughtiest one. Okay, and how can I always ask myself, how can I make sure that she will remember that I have already changed when I come out from prison. After my mom shared with me about this thing, about my grandmother, so I did the most craziest thing that I can do in prison, which is I decided to renounce from my gang. It's not an easy thing to do because same thing, in prison, we most of, I would say, everybody would not decide to renounce in prison because of the face that people want. I just feel that I have done so many things in life already. Counterfeit money, cheating, theft and dealing, drug, even using a knife to slash someone, I have done it already. I tell myself I think I had enough. I just want to be someone that my grandmother can be very proudly of before her memory is gone. If I were to look back and to reflect, I would say I really appreciate her for calling the police, because if she don't do that, I don't think today I'll be who am I today, right? Being like now married, earning clean money, and no more nonsense, I would say. A lot of people actually contacted me to ask me for drugs, to ask me to go back to hang out with the same group of friends. But what I did was, to cut the contact away from them. I asked myself if I really want to go through all these consequences again. Because if I were to go through all this again, then I'm very sure that I will break a lot of people's heart. Other than that, sharing my stories with others actually make a big difference. It acts as a reminder for me, because every time I share mostly to ex-offender who come out from prison. So it keeps me as a reminder that, hey, if I can share this to people, then I make sure that they give me the full trust that I will change, and they give me the opportunity to share my story with more people. Then I must make sure that I don't go back to the old days again. I hope that people will understand that change is possible. You have to want it and fight for it. And for families, don't give up on your loved ones even at their lowest. My mom didn't give up on me, and that changed my life. Thank you.